Hi, welcome all of you to the AMA live once again, the Ask Me Anything with GP and Arks from Career Launcher. The Ask Me Anything has been a very, very good success. A lot of you have been joining us. And today I have with me GP Sir, who is going to give you, along with myself, yours truly, the answers to the quintessential questions that you might have now that a lot of these interviews are over, admissions, final admits are coming through. What should you take up, whether it's an IMI versus IMT or a TAPMI versus a KJ SOMAIYYA or a SIBM versus an NMIMS? We will try to restrict it to these colleges rather than the IIMs at this stage. However, please feel free to ask any questions as you go along on the YouTube channel that you're there. In fact, if you have not subscribed to our channel, the CL MBA channel, please do so immediately so that any further AMA such as this will keep coming back to you. Having said that, welcome GP. It's very, as usual, I think students have a lot of questions. We've already collected 20 odd questions from students in the last 15 minutes, but I'm going to put up the ones that are there on the screen right away. And as more questions come in from our students, I think we will address them as we go along. We'll start with the very first question that is there. Hi, Durgesh. Hi, Naman, all of you. I'll start with Eden Saha, who's asking, Sir, I'm in waiting list of KJ SOMAIYYA, 44th in the wait list, 4 IB is there, and I have a call from UBS Mumbai. Shall I accept UBS or wait for the moment in other lists?
See, 44 in KJ SOMAIYYA, he'll convert. I don't think it should be an issue at all.
Yes.
So while you can, let's say, accept UBS if you want to be 100% sure, but I think there's a very, very, very high chance of converting KJ SOMAIYYA.
Yeah. He is 44th in the waitlist for 4, but he's not clear about the KJ SOMAIYYA waitlist, I guess.
Okay. Even 4 will, okay, 444 will also get converted. So I
yes.
said that. Okay. So to my mind, in any case, if you look at the difference in the institute, UBS versus 4 versus KJ SOMAIYYA, the gap is huge.
Absolutely.
So rather than joining UBS, I would personally want the person to wait for 4.
Absolutely. Saha, you got that right. By the way, it is not Somalia, friend, it is SOMAIYYA. KJ SOMAIYYA. Yeah. We have Tane asking, he has a 76% in CAT, OBC engineer, gave a CAP interview. This is something which we have answered so many times.
I think it still needs to be taken up. I think students need to be very clear. And Tane, my question to you would be, do you think they called you for the interview to waste their own time? I can understand they wanting to waste your time. But why the hell would they be interested in wasting their own time and calling someone who has no chance of converting? And if you strongly feel you can't convert, you will not convert. If you went in the interview with this kind of a, let's say, mental makeup, that I have a poor profile, I may not convert, I can guarantee you will not convert ever. You have to first start with a positive thing. Okay, so if you have had a good interview, you will convert. If you have not had a good interview, you will not convert. Profile will not matter at all.
Absolutely. Okay, Naman is asking a very simple question. 4 core versus GLIM PGDM. If it is a PGDM 2 years, Naman, I think you should take up a 4 without much of an ado, according to me. Don't worry too much about it at all. But if it is GLIM PGPM, which is a 1-year course, and that automatically means that you have certain number of years of experience, then you may want to think about what is the area that you want to go into it. At this stage, I think GP, I can safely say that 4 core is the right one.
No doubt at all.
Right. We have Naina asking, sir, waitlisted, waiting for Excel, of course. 10 CGPA, general fresher, average interview for BM. BM was better than HA. Chances for convert,
Same answer, Naina. Chances of conversion is a function of how well you have done in the interview. And please remember one more thing. Your feeling that was a good interview, average interview, poor interview has got no value at all. You are looking at the interview from your point of view. Was I comfortable? Was I able to answer questions? I'll show you interviews in which people were able to answer all questions, not converted, because they were not looking at the knowledge, they were looking at other things. And I'll also show you interviews where people are not able to answer any question but still convert. So please be clear. Your feeling at the end of the interview is a waste, is pointless thing. So wait.
Absolutely. Madhav, this is a quintessential question. I thought we should pick it up right away. IMT PGDM core versus XIM Bhubaneswar's business management course.
Yeah. The answer is both of us know. It has to be XIMB. Okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing to debate out here. The only reason to consider IMT Ghaziabad would be if you are very clear you are going for marketing. That could be the only reason to consider IMT Ghaziabad over XIM Bhubaneswar.
In fact, if I can use this situation to tell you, IMT Ghaziabad, IMI Delhi, XIM Bhubaneswar. These are the three institutes a lot of people have confusions about. I would say, without much of an ado, if it is only institutes that you are thinking about, it is the XIM Bhubaneswar will come above IMT Ghaziabad and will come shade above IMI Delhi. Like sir has said, and I would like to reiterate, if there is a particular area like marketing where IMT for some reason has been able to, get better companies to come to the campuses, they have got their name better in a marketing point of things, maybe you can consider IMT marketing. That is again, once again to reiterate sir's statement, only and only if you are very clear that boss, mujhe marketing mein jana hai. So therefore, this answer, which college ops consulting, IMT or XIM Bhubaneswar, Bhaskar, you have your answer. Hi, Arun. Then Ankit, which is better? This is a next question. Nmims Bangalore versus SIIB. This is an interesting question.
See, while we get confused with the term IB, the fact is all programs today are international business programs. SIIB has been by traditionally running an international business program, hence it is continuing with that name. Otherwise, SIBM, NMIMS, they will also provide you to some extent placements in this domain. And this is a domain. This is now a time when there's nothing called domestic business or international business. They have business. The barriers across countries have come down significantly. So here I would, rather than looking at whether it is IB or general MBA, SIIB is also providing with a general MBA program. My personal preference will be with SIIB because it's an older, more established institute and has a better placement record.
Absolutely. This is important for people to unlike. For Anuj is asking XIM Bhubaneswar business management versus the Nasty Morji's HR program. First and foremost, I think these are not comparable. Somewhere you need to understand it. Unless each individual is very, very clear that, okay, I want to do a human resource management kind of an area and therefore tell me this question. Frankly, I don't think there is even a question here. You should go to an XIM Bhubaneswar. GP, correct me if I'm wrong. One of our simple statements have been that try looking for a general management to start with, which will help you to get into every area of specialization, rather than taking up a very specific specialization, even like an HR or a business analytics for that matter, even if the college is very good.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And here you're talking about two colleges that are fairly close to each other. And as you said, rightly asked to me, this is a question which is redundant. If you want to be, if we are very sure about HR, then XIMB is not an option. If you are not sure about HR, then NM is not an option. So here you need to be first clear about what is it that you are looking at. Confused, go for XIM MBBM to keep all options open. Very clear, I want to do HR only and nothing but HR in my life, then it is NM.
And for that matter, I think he would have got XIM Bhubaneswar HR also for that matter. If you got XIM Bhubaneswar HR, maybe you can take that itself because it's a slightly more established program than the NMIMS HR program, at least in the last few years. So keep that in mind. I hope, Anuj, you got your answer. There's a different question, GP, if you can pick it up. Are there any roles for people with IT work experience greater than 3 years at a MICA kind of an institute?
See, MICA by definition, if you look at the institute, it is about marketing, it is about brand management, it is about communication. Okay? We call it marketing broadly, but the program is called Postgraduate Diploma in Communication, PGDCIM. Okay, if I remember the complete name. Okay, so it's a program in communication. So the roles which you will get will be in this domain only. Now, if you happen to have IT work experience, it does not matter because you will get jobs based on what you study there. yes, you will not get possibly full weightage for your work experience. However, there will be domains where your past work experience might be useful. Analytics, a few opportunities will be there. Digital marketing, again, your past experience might be somewhat useful. So there will be domains or there will be opportunity where your past experience might be useful. There you will get some weightage for your work experience. If you are going for brand management, for example, your work experience is not going to be given any weightage, and you'll probably start with as a fresher for all practical purposes.
Right. Naina, we have answered this question. IMT G with the XIM Bhubaneswar on a broad basis. XIM Bhubaneswar should be preferred over IMT Ghaziabad core. Saying I'm inclined towards marketing, I would still say go to XIM Bhubaneswar.
Yeah.
Unless, like I said, you are very clear about marketing. This is the next one coming up, GP, on Pranjal Kumar Singh asking, XLRI HRM. XLRI is known for HRM actually. IFT Delhi and IIM Shillong, which is the best among the three.
Again, see, if I go purely by ranking of institute, it has to be XLRI HRM. But my question then would be, are you interested in this domain? The advantage, however, of XLRI HRM is from here you can get placements in marketing, in general management and consulting also. So XLRI HRM, you have to look at it as HRM plus marketing plus general management plus consulting. If any of these domains work for you, you can go here. But if you're looking at analytics, if you are looking at IT, systems, operations, if you are looking at, let's say, finance, then XLRI HRM is not an option. Then between IFT and IFT Delhi and IIM Shillong, you can probably toss a coin and choose one of the two.
Yeah. If you want to go all the way to the northeast in Shillong, take it. Otherwise, if you want to be in the Delhi heat and the cold, you be in Delhi. As simple as that. Okay. Nikhil, this is for you. I am Ranchi. Typically, if you are a general category student, this year the percentile cutoff was 93 percentile. Vaibhav Lahoti, is it possible that we could see a Bangalore or a Lucknow starting with the IPM course? Vaibhav, IIM Bangalore has announced that they will do a liberal arts course starting 2023. I suspect you are in the 11th or 12th class student. As of today, there is no information from either IIM Lucknow or IIM Bangalore, or for that matter, other IIMs, that they are starting the IPM course. But however, just to reiterate, those of you who know this, even you might be MBAs, but there are your cousins, your brothers, sisters, etc., who are in the 11th and 12th or even 10th. Mind you, you can get into an IIM even after 12th. There is a 5-year integrated program called the Integrated Program in Management, started by IIM Indore in 2011, Rohtak in 2019, and 3 others last year like Ranchi, IIM Bodh Gaya, and IIM Jammu started it, and Nalsar in Hyderabad. It's a law university, but they have fantastic programs started up. 6 of them, 5+1, have these IPM programs, my friends. So, Vaibhav, I hope you understand. And for this year, you need to live with that. Is there anything else that you'd like to add, GP, on this very important thing?
No,
especially for
possibilities. Yeah, possibility is always there. And my strong recommendation for these 5-year programs is there essentially because one, these are by good institutes. Second thing which you need to remember is practically all of them will give you the opportunity to opt out after 3 years and join a better institute. In fact, one of our students, he joined IIM Indore, and after during third year rather took CAT, and from 4th and 5th year he did effectively from IIM Calcutta. So BBA Absolutely. From IIM Indore, MBA from IIM Calcutta is a possibility. And if you are going for any of these programs, given that as so far A, B, C, and L have not started, I think that is something you should definitely look at.
Correct. Absolutely. Okay. The next question coming up is a very simple question, GP. LBSIM versus 4 versus SIOM. Again, this is the same problem. SIOM is operations management.
If it is operations you are looking at, then obviously it has to be SIOM. Between LBS and 4 again, there are not too much to choose between the two. 4 has by and large been the older institute, more established institute, done fairly well. LBS is also equally good, though less well known. So between LBS and 4, my suggestion would be, if you belong to Delhi, just go across to both the institutes and check out the latest placement stats of this year, not past years. See which companies came this year, and don't worry about the amount of salary. check out which companies came and what are the roles they have offered. That should be the deciding criteria. And as Arks has said, SIOM, if you have very clear operations is what you want to do for the rest of your life, go ahead with SIOM and then forget about the other two.
Absolutely. In fact, Prakhar and everyone else who is listening to us carefully, please understand the decisions are not made on only institutes' names. It's also made on your own interest levels. Only, of course, if you do not have an interest level or if you are not aware of what is your interest level, then we always have maintained this. And once again, suggesting this to you that you take up a general management program. So in that sense, 4 or LBSM would help. Otherwise, SIOM is a very, very good institute for operations management. Okay. Some UP gamers is asking this very long question. My goodness. IRMA versus CAP, baby IIMs versus GIMB versus Kashipur versus baby IIM score versus, oh my goodness, too many questions.
And also, this is all almost entire thing is hypothetical at this point of time. UP gamers, first thing, IRMA is an excellent institute. If you have got an option there, my suggestion is please block it. Okay, I'm assuming you have got XIMB HR call, final call also. So if you have to choose between XIMB HR and IRMA, these two are institutes which are very different. HR specialization very clear, go for XIMB. Otherwise, IRMA, a very good institute, not well known, but a very good institute with excellent placement opportunities. All the others, UP gamers, we'll talk about once you get the interview calls. Once you get the
GP, I've just put our GP ka funda where you have done a very, very thorough analysis of all these things on the screen and also on YouTube channel comments. Hopefully people can pick it up and go through that if required be, whenever they read. Okay, so we have a lot of other questions coming up. In fact, I'm really, really slow in the questions, it looks like to me. Let me go back to MDI core. Again, Sanket, chances will always be 100% there, friend. Don't ask these questions if you have. Use this session to ask those questions which are going to be relevant immediately for you. I understand that a lot of you are really fearful about what is the outcome of your interviews.
And ask what I want students to understand, none of us is a god. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
We cannot say, okay, what are your chances? We don't even know what happened in your interview. You're expecting us to give an answer without even knowing anything, not possible. And again, I will say, repeat the same thing. If you think you don't have chances, let me assure you, you will not get through. Because that is for the mindset you went into the interview with. However, I can give you 94.23 people have converted MDI in the past.
Absolutely. And Shubham and Sanket, I've answered that. Shubham again asking that whether you will convert or not convert is a crystal gazing, as I want to use the word.
I think we should just skip all the questions which say, can I convert? Yes, you can convert.
Absolutely, yes. In fact, anybody asks me whether one question, if you ask me only a particular institute, is it a good or a bad institute? I will say invariably it's a good institute. So don't even ask that question. Okay. Divyam is asking a question. This is interesting, GP. This is DCP of IMT Ghaziabad is another thing. Versus, of course, if you have a TAPMI core versus an XIMB Bhubaneswar HR.
See, for Divyam, my suggestion would be to go for TAPMI core. XIMB HR, because you don't have an idea, you might get into the program and realize maybe this is not what I want to do. TAPMI core will give you all the options. While IMT DCP is a good program, it is fairly expensive because it has a 1-year stint in Dubai. So, which is why I would not recommend that until unless money is something you are not at all worried about. So between the three, my suggestion would be TAPMI core.
Absolutely. Lalit, at this stage, because you are asking for Rohtak, Kashipur, Raipur, and XIMB Bhubaneswar, book your seat in XIMB Bhubaneswar. Once you convert these things, you please get in touch with us. But broadly speaking, I think they are of the similar level, but I would probably go for an IIM for a simple reason that this is going to be there with you for the next 30-35 years. GP, your...
Yeah, I would say probably Raipur and XIMB, I will choose Raipur. Okay.
Right.
And Rohtak, I have a question mark. There have been issues with Rohtak. Kashipur, again, I would possibly be more inclined towards Kashipur, but it's a touch and go kind of a thing.
Correct. Right. Saurav Mohanty, whatever your question is, I know your question is 19 lakhs. Whether please check the website, you will get to answer. I'm not taking up any questions, GP, which are saying again. Sanket, Nivane, Ninave, please don't keep asking the same questions. All of you, my friends, we are going to take question by question. So on the comment section, don't continuously give the same question.
Don't take any questions from Sanket. He's writing the same question 20 times. So any questions from Sanket not to be taken at all.
Yeah. This is a student, I think, who is 18 years old. Very interesting. I want to appear for the IPMAT Indore and I belong to the C. How many times I can appear? You can appear twice, buddy. Only twice. But this year is what you should apply if you are in the 12th class. Otherwise,
look at it this way.
Yeah. Go ahead, GP.
Yeah. All I was saying is take it only once. Don't start with an assumption I'll take it 3 times, 4 times. Take it in the after when you clear your 12th class. That is the time you take it. If you don't make it, join your graduation after 3 years. Get into the regular MBA program instead of a 3+2 instead of integrated program. Do your regular graduation and go for the normal the regular MBA. So don't make it a thing that I have to prepare for it and take it 3 times. You will be wasting your time. One attempt is the only thing you need to look at.
Right. Priyasha, I will answer this question straight away for you. Please take up TAPMI core.
Yeah.
Then we have Sanket again coming back. Sanket, you have given too many times, guys. Sanket, may I'm going to be a little missing on it. I think you are clogging up the entire thing too many times. Okay. Because of him, I'm missing out a lot of these things. Yeah. We have TAPMI core versus GLIM PGDM. It's a 2-year course of. It's TAPMI. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It has to be TAPMI. The 1-year program would have been a different issue of Great Lakes, but the 2-year program versus TAPMI, I will go with TAPMI.
Bhaskar, this waitlisted thing about XIMB Bhubaneswar, please notice that there is no way, even by looking at last year or the year before last, you will figure out whether you will make it or not. It's only a hope that you will have. The fact of the matter is you have a wait list. Wait for that. There are times when even 300 got cleared. There are times when only 30 got cleared in XIMB Bhubaneswar over the last 5-7 years. So it's very difficult to even predict it. It depends on multiple issues. It also depends on when the other results come in, kind of things. So wait till May, you will get a lot of better picture, Bhaskar, on this. Ishan is asking an interesting question. MICA compared to new IIMs?
Again, same thing. If you are very clear about marketing, then possibly MICA would be the best option. And again, when you're looking at new IIMs, you're looking at Ranchi, you're looking at Raipur, you're looking at Rohtak, Trichy. Trichy is well known for finance, so they were well known for marketing. So Ishan will be a function of what option you get finally. Okay. So my suggestion is just block MICA if you get it and wait for the calls to come. Once you have all the calls with you, then let's connect again.
Absolutely. XIMB Bhubaneswar versus SCMHRD marketing, I would say go for SCMHRD Pratibha.
Absolutely.
This is an important question from Utkarsh GP. IMI Kolkata, I have that's the only option and also a gap year. What should I do? I think an important question.
Yeah. So here actually Utkarsh, we would need more information. But assuming you have a drop year, you don't have any great opportunities outside this, then I would say IMI Kolkata is a good institute. You can definitely join it. It is not as well known as, let's say, IMI Delhi, but it's definitely a decent institute and will provide you with decent career opportunities, at least in the eastern region, if not all over India. Okay, I would not reject it outside. It is not a college which I'll say you should not join at all. To me, it's a decent college, can definitely be considered. It is a function of your many other things. For example, can you go for retake? Can you get a job and go for retake? If yes, then probably that's a better option. Otherwise, this is what you should go ahead with.
Right. Okay, we have UP Gamers once again. Now finally has come down to 2 points. XIMB Bhubaneswar HR versus MHRM IIT Kharagpur. IIT Kharagpur results are of course not out yet. For the moment, I think you should take up XIMB Bhubaneswar HR if he has it.
See, the advantage of IIT Kharagpur is going to be the kind of fees you will be paying. So if I look at purely the cost of doing an MBA, IIT Kharagpur becomes a very, very compelling thing. And hence, possibly I'll be a slightly more inclined towards that. But XIMB is also an equally good institute, if not better. But yes, the
Absolutely.
fee factor can be a deal breaker out here.
We have answered this, Abhi. Agar if you have missed out the first 10 minutes, please go back to the first 10 minutes. This YouTube live will be available once again on CLMBA. Do subscribe to it. But just to give you a quick answer, the answer has to be XIM Bhubaneswar core. Krishna Nayak, IMI Delhi is good. There are lots of positives in it. Work on it. If you have a question as compared to anything else, we will be able to say that. Again, UP gamers, I can't answer those questions, guys. Once again, I'm telling you, you can't keep on asking the same question within this or this, this or this, this or this. Unless you want to pay me and GP sir separately, we'll send you our Paytm numbers.
No, not only that, the critical thing is, these are all hypothetical.
Correct. Unless you have
so when
something
these calls
ready,
come, you have an issue between, let's say, SCM, HRD, SIBM, NM, XIMB, the calls which have come, it makes sense to talk about it.
Absolutely. In fact, I want to tell you something, friends. This is not going to be a general information session. This is session which is very, very critical. And if you are going to look at your next 30 years or 35 years of your career, GP sirs, more than 25 years of experience and my 20 years of experience in this field, having done this, can come in handy. So don't waste this 1 hour and ask random questions. What is absolutely critical for you? Please come up with that question. Take my word on this, that whatever we give, you can close your eyes and take it without much of an ado. That is something which I can guarantee you on this. Okay, we will have what CAP IIMs above NMIMS? Which CAP IIMs are above NMIMS Mumbai? Okay. Once again, I think GP, you have said this before, like an IIM Ranchi, an IIM Udaipur. It is not that they are above NMIMS, friends. It is just that these IIMs, the old IIMs especially, I'm talking about the ones which have started in 2009, like the Ranchi, Raipur, Udaipur, even Trichy, of course, Kashipur and Rohtak, they have now been there for 13 years. When you graduate, it would have been 15 years out of the college or the college to have started since inception. And when you are into 30s, they will be 25 years institutes. So you can consider the IIM brand name the reason why you will look at it, as compared to, of course, the newer lot of institutes like the Bodh Gayas and the Vishakhapatnams. Hence, I would say you can pick up the, so to say, 2009, 2010 started institutes, but NMIMS is equally good. If you have that right now, please make sure that you block that seat. GP, this is an interesting question. Nayan is asking, should I continue working or should I drop everything and start pushing some certification courses and also start working on Excel? I am going into new IIMs like Ranchi or Trichy. So probably he expects to get a final selection from an IIM Ranchi or a Trichy, and hence says, okay, I'll quit and use the next 2-3 months before he joins an IIM.
Nayan, if you have clarity as to what specialization you are looking for, yes, you can do that. For example, if you say I'm keen to get into marketing, maybe you could do a course of digital marketing. You're keen to get into finance, maybe you could look at NSE certification courses, or you could start your CFA kind of a thing. But working on Excel, PowerPoint, I think you learn it. It's not something for which you need to do a course. And that's a general rule you could follow. That could be useful for everyone, actually.
Absolutely, absolutely. Devinder, I will answer. Devinder Bedi, I will answer this question. Difference between a cutoff percentile and a percentile required for a call. When you say there is a cutoff percentile, it means below that percentile, there is absolutely no chance of getting a call. It is the bare minimum percentile required to even be considered for getting an interview call. This is what is a cutoff percentile is.
It is eligibility.
It is eligibility criteria. Right? You finish your degree and get more than 50%, you are eligible to write CAT. That doesn't mean you will get into an IIM. It's like that. So that's a minimum percentile for that particular institute. The actual cutoff, percentile cutoff, is based on the number of students who have appeared for that and the number of seats they have and the ratio in which they would like to call them for an interview. It's as simple as that. For example, for the cap round of interviews, I was just going through GP. There are about 2,200 seats available among all the 9 institutes. 20 odd thousand people have been shortlisted. 15,000 odd of them have registered, and only 13,900 people have appeared for the interview. So in that sense, even though the cutoff was low, a lot of people didn't apply, and you will get it or not get it based on how others have done it.
So theoretically it was 1:10. Realistically it was 1:5, 5.5.
Absolutely. In fact, it will be less than that actually if you look at it.
Because there will be overlap.
Yeah, lots and lots of overlap will be there.
Many of them would have got multiple calls.
Yeah. Okay, this is an important question once again. Sir, what are the pros of IMI Delhi versus MICA? Krishna, once again, what sir has said, I will repeat it. If you are very keen on marketing, advertising, digital marketing, and that communication, because it's a PGD communications course in MICA, I think there is no second thoughts about it, take MICA. But if you're not clear, if you want to explore, you want to look at finance also, operations also, IT also, analytics also, and of course, marketing also, I think you should take up an IMI. GB, if there is any other idea.
Fine. Absolutely. That's the way to look at it. It's a specialization versus a general program issue.
Okay. This is a very quick question. Nmims Mumbai versus DFS. They have to pay the fees.
Yeah. See, on the face of it, I'm going to say Nmims. Okay. But the other part which comes out like that when we are comparing XIMB HR versus IIT Kharagpur HR, the same issue comes up here. DFS you will pay the fees by withdrawing money from using your debit card. Whatever your limit is good enough. Okay. So the financial logic of going to DFS is very, very high, and DFS is a good program. However, it is shackled by Delhi University, so it has got its own deficiencies. So I would say if you are looking at the fee part, then DFS, you will probably miss out on a few opportunities. But then DFS makes sense. But if money is not at all an issue, I would say then NMS is the college you should be going for finance.
Yeah. GP, another interesting question. Sir, how do we select between XLRI, NCR and Jamshedpur? You don't select, they will give you that.
Everyone will go for XLRI, NCR, Jamshedpur over NCR.
Yeah. But will the NCR first will be still considered for Jamshedpur? I'm not sure.
By and large, yes. See, what typically happens is they come out with a combined merit list. And practically for everyone, there will be the first preference will be Jamshedpur. And same with IIT Delhi, Calcutta, first preference will be IIT Delhi. And if you have been placed in IIT Kolkata or the XLRI NCR, as seats get vacated, you will probably get upgraded. You might be moved from NCR to Jamshedpur or Kolkata to Delhi. You may not be able to. That's a function of how many dropouts happen. Okay, one of the things which I also want to talk about, quite a few students mentioned waiting list, and here also he's talking about wait list funda. Please remember, wait list movement will happen essentially in the month of May. It is unlikely to happen, or whatever waitlist movement you'll see in this month is going to be negligible. The reason is, once the IIMs start coming out with the results, the waitlist movement will happen. By let's say around 20th of this month, you can expect IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, and XLRI to come out with their final list. And once they get the call, they will pay the application, the confirmation fees, and then they will start withdrawing from the NMs and the SIVMs of the world. That is when the waitlist movement will happen. So please don't be worried if you don't see any waitlist movement for the next 30 days. After that, waitlist movement will happen.
Incidentally, GP, almost the new IIM, the CAP Institute said that they will give it the last week of April. If the call itself comes in last week of April, they would give at least 2 more weeks for people to pay up the risk. Which means the first movement will, even the IIMs will be in May 2nd week, May 1st and 2nd weeks.
For IIM,
then the rest of them will move.
I think Arks, ABCL, they will possibly be done by 5th of May.
Correct.
ABCL will be by and large and XLI will be done by 5th of May. Others are likely to go up to 15th of May. So many times students get worried. No waitlist movement is happening. there has to be a reason for waitlist movement, first of all.
In other words, GP, if I may ask you one question straight away for your answer, till what time can these people keep expecting that there could be a movement? On
1 week
outer...
after the call, 1 week after the program starts, 2 weeks after the program starts. We have had cases where students have got a call from FMS or Lucknow. The program is started. And you get a phone call saying there's a seat vacant. You are next in the waitlist. Would you want to join? If you say yes, within 2 days you have to pay money, some small amount token, and they expect you to join the institute within 5 days. Okay,
absolutely.
So it can happen as much as that. So even till June, this will continue.
In other words, what we are saying, all of you friends, is that this waitlist movement can happen almost till July, the first week of July, if not more. Okay. This is again SIBM Bangalore versus IMT DCP versus GLIM PGDM versus 4 PGDM. In this, I think clearly 4 is the better one. Kiran Agarwal, absolutely. I think you should just take 4.
4.
This is another student who Bhagyashree is asking GP, probably is a 10th class student. Sir, taking maths after 10th, is it best option for CLAT other than all the subjects?
See, from a CLAT perspective, we look at the maths which we get there. It is essentially graphs and charts and cases. So something which requires your basic arithmetic percentage calculation skills. While the maths which you'll do in 11th, 12th will be of a very different order. So you should take maths in 11th, 12th if you're looking at career options after 12th, which require maths. For example, if you're looking at, I am assuming she's not interested in sciences. But if you look at economics, then the maths which you do in 11th, 12th will be useful. Okay. Also, you could look at some of the boards give you an option of higher maths and lower maths or applied maths. Okay. So if you're not interested in sciences, etc., then the applied maths part also could be good enough for you. But that will be a function of which board you are from. Otherwise, from a CLAT perspective, not doing maths after 10th does not matter at all. If you are looking at IIM Indore, the 5-year MBA program, or if you are looking at College of Business Studies, Delhi University, for both of them, it will be advantageous to have maths in 11th, 12th.
Absolutely. GP, this is one question which, 4 from Delhi versus GIM Goa. This is one thing we also have discussed. What would you recommend?
See, if you look at 4 versus this Goa Institute of Management, my default is likely to be closer to Goa. Okay? It has had a slightly better placement track record, and that is what I would be looking at. However, the second part which comes there is if you belong to Delhi, then the cost factor again comes into play. Because then you will probably be able to save a lot of money by staying in Delhi. You'll probably be staying at home, commuting up and down and doing it. Okay, so if that is the case, then even 4 is perfectly fine.
Yeah, Prasun is asking, while this is a specific area for institutes to choose, Prasun is probably thinking of studying for CAT this year probably. How to manage job and studies. I'll give you a very simple logic for this, Prasun. Your job is going to be a maximum of 10-12 hours, even including a commute, unless you are doing a very, very tough job.
And quite possibly you will have half of the time as work from home also nowadays.
Absolutely. And that could be 5 days a job or a 5.5 days a job, in some cases 6 days a job. Point number 1. If you're thinking of writing CAT or a GMAT or any such kind of an entrance examination, out of 168 hours which are there in your week, every week has 168 hours. We expect that if you have enough time, 7-8 months to prepare for, like we have now for the CAT exam in November, I think initial stages, even if you prepare for about 10 to 14 hours per week, you will be comfortable in your preparation. So you don't have to kind of take too much of stress saying that, hey, how do I prepare for both? You have to cut down on extra bit of a sleep, maybe cut down on your WhatsApp, cut down on some binge watching, a little of it. I'm not saying completely. You see IPL only when it is at the last stages than wasting time on every match that is happening right now. I think you'll have enough time.
Yeah, and just to add to what you said, End of the day, you need to have clarity as to what is important for you. Arks has said
Very
cut down a bit on these things and this thing. I'll think, why? What stops you from saying I will not watch IPL at all?
absolutely.
You can watch IPL again next year. It's going to happen every year. CAT will also happen every year, but you cannot afford to take it every year. Okay. So
Absolutely
my
correct.
point is, you need to be clear about your priorities. I would say, since you are saying about job, apart from job and CAT preparation, you can probably park everything else for the next 6 to 9 months. Just forget about it.
Correct.
They exist. Birthday parties,
Absolutely.
friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, everyone. Similarly, if you're in college, it is your academics in college which you should not compromise on, and your preparation. Just stick to these two things for 6 months, and then the rest of the life you can take care of other things also.
Yeah. So I'll this Yashwant to just check quickly answer any question like this. The curriculum will not be too different. Even for an engineering, whether you go to a IIT or a Timbuktu Institute of Technology, you will find probably the same curriculum as such. It is what you do with that curriculum and the peer group, the projects, the sessions that you take up, those things will matter. But having said that, some of these IIMs and IITs like IIT Bombay, Delhi, Kharagpur, even Madras, Kanpur are pretty good curriculum. So you don't have to worry too much about it. Okay, a lot of these. This is again a very interesting question. A finance enthusiast is what Pratik is saying he is, with the DFS versus DSC IB and a baby IMs if she gets through.
See, to me, these are again DSC IB is not the program which will get you into finance. In fact, even
Correct.
the MBA program will not get you very hardcorely into finance. Okay, so what you need to be clear about is, out of these three options, it is only DFS which is a finance program. Baby IMs, yes, you can, and I hate the word baby IMs actually, but I'll continue with it because you have said it. To me, these are not comparable to DFS at this point of time in terms of the kind of opportunities they'll provide. Also, one huge advantage of DFS over these IMs which you have talked about is the location. Being in Delhi, you have a greater chance of interacting with the industry and getting opportunities for yourself.
Yeah. For a fresher drop year or baby IM from CAP. Okay. This is an interesting, important question. Shubhanshu Chauhan is asking.
Pick up a job, start working, go for a retake.
Yeah,
if you think
I would.
The critical thing, if you think you can get to at least a 95 percentile next year, if you say next year I'll again get a 88 or 82 percentile, then you might as well join this year. Okay, so if you can go beyond 90 percentile, you should think of going for a retake. If you can go beyond 95 percentile, why 90 percentile? The CAP IMs, the Ranchis and the Raipurs of the world will be available to you. MDI will be available to you.
Okay, this is, I think lots of people will start asking these questions also. The newer IIMs, I would keep calling them newer rather than baby, like IIM Jammu or Bodh Gaya versus the KJ Somaiyas of the world. What would be your take on this, GB?
Actually, I'm not sure about IIM Jammu data, but when you look at Visakhapatnam and Nagpur, they are doing better than Somaiyya, KJ Somaiyya. I'm not sure about the Jammu data. If you have that, probably you'll be able to answer that better.
They are also similar to KJ Somaiyya this year, at least.
Okay. Then I would go to IIM Jammu, because I know 2 years down the line, I'll not be worse off than going to KJ Somaiyya. The only reason why I will possibly consider KJ Somaiyya is because it is in Bombay, and there also I will consider it only if it is coal. I can even consider IB, but the other three programs of KJ Somaiyya I will not consider at all with respect to IIM Jammu.
Right. Keshav, we have answered this question for you. IMT Ghaziabad versus MICA for marketing. Very specifically, if you're thinking of marketing, my vote will go to MICA because it's a much more specialized institute.
Absolutely. Also, there's one more advantage. IMT Ghaziabad has a batch of some 700. And MICA is likely to be a batch size of about 240. I could be wrong with the number, but I think that's the number which is there.
Yeah, it is definitely less than half of what IMT Ghaziabad has. And hence, Keshav, if you get through MICA, you have an IMT Ghaziabad, book your seat. And if MICA's result has come, if you have got through, take that. GP, this is an interesting question. With a 10th 42%, there is no eligibility criteria for 10th, right?
No,
So you are
eligibility is graduation 50%. However, with these marks, I would say almost all the good IIMs are out. The academic profile, based on academic profile, Pranjay, you are unlikely to get a call from any of the IIMs. Your target has to be XLRA. Your target has to be IFT. So it is
or
those
an
institutes
MBA Gurgaon.
or MDI. So you have to be looking at those institutes which do not give weightage to 10th and 12th marks. Okay, I'm not saying you can't make it, but the unfortunately the admission criteria in IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, even if you get 100 percentile in CAT, an interview call is not likely. Okay, IIM Bangalore, you'll get a call because IIM Bangalore gives you a call if you're among the if you're 100 percentile in any section or overall.
Correct. Saloni Agarwal, when you're asking for an IIT Jodhpur MBA, I would say it's a decent MBA. But if that is the only institute that you have and you don't have any other choice, one thing I would say is, hey, can you wait out for another year? 8 months are there for you for CAT. Can you put in that kind of an extra effort to get into, let's say, even an IIT Bombay or a Kharagpur even for that matter? So if you can wait out and put in that effort, pick up a job right now, I think it would be a better idea as far as taking is concerned. But if you have already taken 1 year break, 2 year breaks, you have tried to CAT 3-4 times, you have never got through anything, this is the last time you're writing it, I think just take an IIT Jodhpur. I'm sorry, GP, if you have any other ideas on this.
The default option for a fresher would be pick up a job, go for retake.
Okay. This one, Shubhayam Mitra is asking, he passed in 2021, gave the CAT 2021. Will it be considered as a gap year? I was joining an institute in 2022.
Yeah, it's a gap year. 1 year you have not been working or you are not in college, so it will be a gap year. But don't worry about a gap year. It does not matter. When you are sitting for your placements in the institute, they will not be asking you why did you have a gap year. They'll be asking you why did you not study, or they will shortlist you only if you have done well in MBA. If you have not done well in MBA, you will not sit for the interview. And don't blame that on the gap year. So you should be clear. Your future career will depend on how well you do in those 2 years of MBA, not on the gap year which you have had.
Absolutely. In fact, GP, we have one student who had 6 years of gap year because he was studying for UPSC.
No, Arks, I have okay, yeah, you can just complete that part.
And this guy went to IIT Bombay and got into an ICICI core finance job also.
Yeah. Okay, I have 2 such cases. A student who graduated in 2011 from Bombay University in computer science, worked for 1 year, and then he had some mental health issues and was under treatment. Took CAT in 2017 and joined Bangalore in 2018.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think this gap year is
another student who had an 8-year gap and did not even do any UPSC preparation. Yeah, had partly UPSC, but he was also chucked out of IIT Kanpur. 8 years of gap and made it to Ahmedabad, Bangalore both. Joined Ahmedabad finally.
Absolutely. In fact, this gap year is not an issue. A lot of people ask this gap year issue. You will have to defend this in an interview. You need to showcase that something or the other you might have done, or if you have not done it, accept that you have not done it, but what have you done for remedying that?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, this is XIMB Bhubaneswar versus IIT Kharagpur, and also converted IRMA already. Want to put the money and lock the seat at Kirti Vardhan Mishra.
So first thing is, if interested in HR, it has to be one of the first 2, depending on how much money you are willing to spend. While IIT Kharagpur will give you slightly lower level of placement, but the fee will be much lower. So if money is an issue, then it has to be IIT Kharagpur, otherwise XIMB HR. But if you are not clear about your specialization, I'll say please go to IRMA. It's an excellent institute. It's a low profile institute. There are in fact 2 institutes which I like a lot, but they are low profile and people ignore them. One is TAPMI and one is IRMA. These 2 institutes don't go out of the way to promote themselves, and hence they get and hence people miss them out. But IRMA is a very, very good institute, and I would strongly recommend, if you want to, if you are not clear about your options, join IRMA.
Absolutely. SDA Bakoni, I think. SIIB IMT Nagpur. So if you have spoken to SIIB and HR will be poor in SIIB for sure, because SIIB is typically an international business institute.
Yeah, that's more
IMT
marketing and other areas.
Yeah.
Nagpur, again, I would not be happy with it. It is possibly going to be an SG Bocconi.
Yeah.
But there's a difficult call. There's a difficult call. Saini, I would say, if possible, continue with your job or pick up a job and go for a retake.
The other thing that
Yeah, sorry, continue.
The other thing that, frankly, Sayani Saha, I can tell you is, you say you're interested in HR. I'm not sure what you know about HR, to be honest with you. I mean, I remember going to an MBA in IIM Calcutta thinking I'll become a systems major, ended up into marketing and sales thoroughly. I had no idea what was marketing and sales was till I went into it, because I was an electronics engineer. And I think this kind of a thing has happened for too many people, because MBA gives you a lot more to explore. And hence, as a logic of ranking, maybe I would suggest SIIB, Sayani. Having said that, otherwise, pick up a job or continue with the job and write it again next year.
And Arks, just to add to what you're saying, most of the time I find, not always, but many times I find people saying, no, HR is good for girls. I have never been able to understand. What do you mean by HR is good for girls? No, it has got fixed timings. No job in the corporate world has fixed timings. No job will expect you to work only from office. HR has to travel all over the country. Continuous traveling will happen even in there. So Saini, I hope you are not coming from that point of view that HR is a good job for girls, and because that is passe, that might have happened at one point of time. Now that is not correct. And as Ark said, if you are not clear, if you don't have any demonstrable interest, and you are only going by feeling, then my suggestion along with Arks would be join SIIB, an excellent institute, and you will probably find the right thing for yourself.
Right. Okay, Pooja is asking an interesting question. TAPMI versus, let's say, an IIM Nagpur, Amritsar, Bodh Gaya, the newer IIMs.
Yeah. Okay. I'll possibly go with TAPMI. However, I'm not going to consider Amritsar or Bodh Gaya. The other institute I will look at is Nagpur. So for me, it is a toss-up between Nagpur and TAPMI. Okay. And here again, I will say, can I just have the issue is we are still collecting data for this year's placements. Once we have that, we'll be able to say, but possibly a little more inclined towards Nagpur over TAPMI.
Let me also use this opportunity to tell you, all of you who are listening and will be listening here, that GP sir is going to come up with a very specific Jaye to Jaye Kahan videos. He has a GP Ka Funda. We also have GP Ka Cat Funda YouTube channel. We have our Career Launchers MBA Cat channel. Please subscribe to that without fail. Notifications will keep coming to you. A lot of these questions that you have will in an AMA or a Ask Me Anything kind of a session, we will have to give you faster answers, but a lot more detailed information will be given to you in those things. Don't forget to join GP Ka Cat Funda, GPKA Cat Funda as a YouTube channel. You will get a lot more insights into what you should do in your careers. Okay, one important quick question. BIMTech versus IMT Nagpur.
If you are from Delhi or North India, go for BIMTech. If you are from Nagpur, from Maharashtra, go for IMT Nagpur.
Correct. Yeah. Again, similar questions.
There's a student, Anjay Kumar. Pass my thanks to Jijo sir. VARC 1000 helped me score 99 percentile in that. Okay. I don't know if you can showcase that here. But Anjay, drop a mail to Jijo. Jijo@careerlauncher.com. Okay, Jijo@careerlauncher.com. I'm sure he'll be happy to listen to hear it directly from you rather than me or us passing on the message to him.
Anjane Kumar, thank you so much for these kind of encouraging statements. Will definitely help every one of us to do much better and make sure that you are good in that. And another Anjay, 5 minutes we'll take it.
And Anjay, the one last thing, you said Excel HR program. Not sure if I should go for it. If you're interested in HR or marketing or general management or consulting, you should go for it. If you're looking at finance or systems, then you should not go for it.
Once again, Nayan Parmar, this question we have answered. Whether you want to drop everything and start pursuing some certificate courses. I think I have answered this question to you. Okay, let's click. Som Shubhra Samanta is asking quants preparation strategy for non-engineers or non-science backgrounds. So Som Shubhra, we have taken sessions on this. There will be a session coming up. There is one session which I am going to tell almost 23 days in advance. There is something very, very interesting coming up on the 1st of May, where we are doing something called a head start to the getting a 99 percentile in quantitative ability. GP sir will be picking up that itself. So do attend that. There will be other sessions which will be very specific to how to prepare. Whether you're an engineer or non-engineer, doesn't matter. It is an exam that you need to prepare for. Okay? Because just because you are a non-engineer doesn't mean you'll have to do anything different from being an engineer. This, I think we have answered that, Pooja.
Yeah.
Okay. Studious guys asking, sir, not interested in marketing, but since not good at academics and no work experience, finance jobs I won't get. Which specialization will be good for me?
See, please get inside the institute. and first year you will decide you should decide after the first year based on what you like. Okay. And while finance job shortlisting does happen to some extent based on your past acads, but there are also companies which will consider you despite not good acads if you are able to showcase good performance in MBA finance. In the finance courses in MBA, if you are able to do well, you will get the opportunity there also. So don't let this become a constraint for you. If you are interested in finance, you like those areas, go for finance.
GP, this is another question which will come back to us as we go along. That this gentleman can convert K or an I or an L, has a 2-year work experience, but wants to attempt again for an ABC.
See, to me, if I look at LK and spending 1 extra year going to ABC, frankly, I'm not sure if it is really worth it. I know students who have done it. I'm not saying people don't do it. I know students who have done it also. Okay? But to me, it doesn't make sense, especially from L to ABC, you're not going to get anything extra except for that alphabet changing. The opportunities which you'll get in L, the same opportunities, exactly the same opportunity you'll get in ABC in practically all domains. There might be a couple of companies who will go only to A or only to B or only to C. Okay, so you'll never be able to get 100% coverage. Okay. Secondly, if it is K, the only I think till a couple of years ago, front-end consulting opportunities was not available in K, but I guess now they are available.
Now they're available.
And if front-end consulting opportunities are available in K also, then everything is available there. So frankly, to my mind, it does not make sense. It is that ego or the tag of that alphabet which is possibly pushing you, then it's not worth it.
Okay. Correct. Whoever this is, can I continue my IT job for a few months as it work from home? No, you can't do this, buddy.
No.
And which way, you won't have time to do it. And it's unethical also. And more importantly, you will have to submit the last day of your work.
Yeah. The leaving certificate you'll have to put in.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even know how you guys think about these kind of brilliant ideas you have. Couple of last questions I will take up, GP. I think similar questions have come in. What is the difference? This is a very, very generic question. Probably somebody was PGDM versus MBA. What should you do kind of things? I would say, boss, it's the institute which matters. It's not the things. This is an interesting question. One question, like XLRI versus IIT Bombay. XLRI Delhi versus IIT Bombay, rather, if one gets through.
Yeah. See, I will possibly be more inclined towards XLRI Delhi. Though at this point of time, I think both of them would be possibly ranked roughly at the same level. The reason why I'll possibly be more inclined towards XLRI Delhi is IIT Bombay is very good, but opportunities in the domain of finance, in the domain of, let's say, marketing or general consulting are not there. At XLRI Delhi, you'll again not get the top consulting jobs, but in 2 years down the line, because you'll not graduate this year. You will graduate in 2024. By then, there's a chance that some of these top opportunities which are not available in XL Delhi will become available to you. Even if that doesn't happen, at least you'll have good opportunities in finance and marketing, which are little on the lower side as far as IIT Bombay is concerned.
And after 10 years, nobody will ask you whether you're from XLRI Delhi or XLRI Jamshedpur. You will say you are from an XLRI. I think that'll be great. So don't worry about that, is what I would say. One last question I will take up, GP, before we say thank you.
Sure.
MDI versus IIFT Delhi versus SPJ IMR versus IIT Bombay. This one question which will come up sooner than later.
See, this is a tricky one. If you look at MDI, IIFT Delhi, IIT Bombay, and the fourth one you said SPJ.
I said SPJ IMR, even NITI actually. These are the 5 cluster institutes.
Yeah. So when I go one by one, I would say if you have work experience, possibly SPJ would be a good place to go to, because the opportunities which you'll get, which will fit your work experience, is going to be good. So if you have worked in operation and you are getting into operations, SPJ. If you have worked in finance and getting into finance and you have a 2-3 year work experience, again SPJ makes sense. Okay, so that's the first thing. NITI is essentially operations plus operations plus IT consulting, IT and IT consulting kind of an institute. And again, that's an area which is specific. Like SPJ or is a specific area, there is a specific area. Okay, so if you have both these, there will be some confusion, but let's cross the bridge when it happens. Okay. Similarly, when you look at MDI versus IIFT Delhi, IIFT you'll have slightly higher amount of international placements, commodity trading kind of opportunities because of the legacy. Though some of those opportunities will not be available to you in MDI because many companies by habit keep coming back to IIFT and don't explore others because their requirement is met through these. So if you are very, very clear, you are looking at more of international placements and you are looking at commodity trading kind of work or international business kind of domain, then possibly IIFT, otherwise MDI. So if you ask me blindly which one should I go between MDI versus IIFT, I'll say MDI. Okay. Did I miss any institute?
No, absolutely perfect. So thank you so much for this wonderful session, GP, from your side, and all the students having joined us and asking questions. For a lot of questions that we've answered, I think a lot of people have, come later and asked the same questions. This 1 hour, AMA will be available on our channel very, very soon, right away. In fact, go through that very specific questions. If it is only one institute you are looking at, if you don't have any choice, you can consider to join that institute as long as the basic placements and are available to you in terms of the website that you can go to the website and check their information. However, like we have always maintained, if you are not getting the best of the institutes and you can put in effort for the next 8 months, and there are 8 months to go close to, or at least 7.5 months to go for the CAT exam, 27th of November, you may want to consider writing CAT again if you are not getting the best institutes. Yeah. But if you have 2-3 years experience, you have to look at 2 choices. Like we have said, please make sure that take the decision as per this session of ours of AMA. One last thing before I say thank you. GP sir is going to come up. There is a GP Ka Funda, a blog where Jaye To Jaye Kahan is a complete blog where he has ranked almost close to 100 institutes with clarity on clusters. Make sure that you go through it. Similarly, we plan to come back with some very short videos among the questions that you might have between institutes, like an Nmims versus an XIMB Bhubaneswar versus an SIBM, or an IMT Ghaziabad versus an IMI Delhi, or a 4 versus an LBSIM or a TAPMI. All these things and more will be coming to you in the next 2-3 days itself, and a lot more when the IIM CAP results come in. Please stay tuned to our channel, the YouTube channel of Career Launcher MBA, CL MBA. Please join us very, very quickly, as well as GP Ka CAT Funda. All of you who are there, we will kind of make sure that this information is available. I've just put that on the comment section here. Jaye To Jaye Kahan. Click on that. You will get every information that you really, really require to take a right decision. Thank you, GP, once again. And with last words from you, I will stop the broadcast.
No, that's it. Thank you very much, and all the best, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.